Nice. It looked good on video.
It looked way off for me. It looked so
Oh,
off.
really?
I think it was off. I think I'll still
I
be
don't know.
able
It
to.
looked good to me.
I'll be able to clear them up then. Maybe it's the. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. If we have to, we're gonna have to line them up anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Dude, I've been. I. Pokemon has re-entered my life, and it's a
Oh
problem.
yeah.
I've been
Which one?
mainly Emerald. I don't
Oh,
know.
Emerald's a good one.
I don't know how
That'd be
I.
mine too if I were download one.
It's so fun. Well, I got into a
Yeah.
YouTube hole of Nuzlockers, which is. I feel like that's highly autistic.
What's a Nuzlocke?
Oh, a Nuzlocke. You're gonna want to play some Pokemon after this. So a Nuzlocke is a challenge. It's permadeath Pokemon. So you get your starter, and then you can only catch one Pokemon per route, and it has to be the first Pokemon you see. So if you kill that wild Pokemon on that route, that's it. You can't get anything else till the next route. And then you just have to play through the game, and anytime a Pokemon dies, you have to release it.
Oh, okay. So it's just your rules that you like choose to play by, right? Like it's not
Yeah,
like
it's
the
just a
game. It's not like a
self-imposed.
mod or anything.
No, it's just a
Oh, okay.
self-imposed mode. But people are nasty at
Oh,
it. There's like full
oh
strats
yeah.
because you can't use potions or anything in battle. You can only use like held items like berries. I don't know. I love it. It's very fun.
You, I um you can get into a hole just like Pokemon, like oh randomizer,
Yeah.
and I can only like use one move the entire game
Well,
with one Pokemon.
the thing I like with the Nuzlocke is that I feel like as an adult playing Pokemon, the issue I'm facing the most is that it just feels easy.
Mm.
Like I feel like Fire Red, Leaf Green,
Do you think you know
Emerald.
too much?
I honestly feel like the games are just well, like mainly the new ones. The new ones are so easy. All the remakes have like XP share. The newest ones like Sword and Shield, I just felt like I never was in any danger in any battles. Whereas like when you're a kid, I feel like it was like
Mm.
so stressful, like fighting some gym leaders, like fighting the Elite
Yeah.
Four. And so when
Oh
I'm
yeah, dude. Like you got to get your friends to help you,
yeah,
like beat the gym leaders.
yeah, and like you didn't know like I don't know, like I feel like as a kid also I was just playing worse because I was just only selecting like attack moves. I never did any like stat stuff except for like sleeping and poisoning.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
there's like an added danger to like dude even when so like let's say I catch like a level 3, I don't know, like was that like Swellow? Not Swellow,
Mm.
the Talo. In order to like train that up, I have to fight it against other Pokemon that are its level in the wild, and if it dies, I just lose it. It's
It
it's
just gone
it's gone. It makes it
forever.
so stressful. But I also feel very
Oh
dumb, like sitting in my living room on like my old DS. It's just
yeah.
like
Whipping out a DS in 2023 is a little rough.
also the screen is like this
The
big,
BSI maybe.
and it hurts my eyes. So I had to get the Game Boy emulator, which helps too because I
Mm.
can speed the game up.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, like you can rip through them.
Yeah, but I do feel very dumb because now I'm like an adult watching a guy on YouTube play Pokemon while I sit on my couch and play Pokemon while like the lady I live with would just like for me to pay attention to her. And I'm just crushing Pokemon Emerald.
Jack, please.
She's like, "Do you want to watch a show?"
Jack, please. Sorry.
I'm like, "Listen, Roxanne has two Geodudes, dude. Do you understand like the type matchup?"
My Ditto is turning into a Snorlax, and then they can use Martyrdom. Do you know how powerful that is?
Do you have any idea the amount of damage calculation I have to do to not lose my Wingle right now? Ooh,
I just said Martyrdom. I meant to say Metronome. Martyrdom's fucking when you would drop a grenade after you died in Call of Duty.
Barty Dom might have been like one of the first times I felt true rage at a video game.
Well, that and Last Stand
Last
was
Stand
like
is
bread and
awful.
butter right there.
It's crazy what a shift there was from like being a kid and you like die in a game or you're like stuck on something and you're like, dang it, like man, now I
Ah,
lost to this like I lost at this for like the 10th time. I guess I'm just gonna keep like banging my head against the wall, and then you turn like 12 and you play Call of Duty and suddenly you're just so angry when you die, and you die like a million times.
it's because because like that entire, well, not just that entire generation, but like, a lot of us start get hit with more
It
hormones.
probably was the hormones because I was
Just
so
taking it
prepared.
out on
That's
Call of Duty.
honestly so true. Like when there's just no other stress in life, you're just like, man, I guess I
Mm.
died again. That sucks. Oh, but
And then you're like, oh,
I have an internet thing for you that I wonder. I
oh
feel
yeah.
like you may have heard of this, but if not, I you should check this out. Have you heard of a thing
Mm.
called the fish tank?
Fish tank. I don't think so.
So it was a notorious man on the internet, Sam Hyde. He decided
Oh.
to make he decided to make his own reality show. So he buys this house in a neighborhood, and they painted all the windows white, and they turned the basement into like a studio. And he just brought in like six essentially like freaks, and he just put them in this house. It's a living room, a kitchen, and like three bedrooms, and he has them live in this house for like 50 days, and they can't leave.
Mm.
And he's just and that's it. And he's like coming in with challenges, but it's Sam Hyde. So it's all like this weird, like you don't even know if it's real. All these people are like so bought into it, and he's clearly just like making these people live in a house for 2 months for like maybe a prize at the end. But he's taking it.
Is he like messing with them?
It is the most intense messing with that I've ever seen. And I remember so he live streamed all of it. He has cameras set up all in the house
24/7?
24/7. People were doing like you could pay money to like send them things. You could pay money for talk to text. Like and it's playing on like Bluetooth speakers all through the house. I was watching this when it was live streaming, and then he just made it like within the last couple months into like hour-long episodes where they cut it like a regular show. And I
Oh,
didn't
like
think
it's still going?
it's over now. So now they've edited it all down
Oh,
to an
okay.
actual show. And I really thought that this was something that I just kind of threw it on because I saw the episode. I was like, oh shit, like he actually made the fish tank show. And Emily was sitting there.
Mm.
We ended up watching all of it. She got so engrossed in it because it is a straight up like Big Brother or Survivor style show, just with the
Mm.
wildest, like real shit happening. Dude, they find out the one dude was like a pedophile, and but it's like so the talk to text people, like the freaks in the Sam Hyde live stream chat are like automatically just like researching these people, like digging into their social media, and they start
Oh, yeah.
finding this one dude's book that he wrote about being a camp counselor. And over the course of a couple days, they start doing text to speech of like parts of his book where he's describing like how to groom these kids. So the house is in turmoil. This dude's in there like also with like a nasty lisp, just like, I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what that could be. And they're like, hey, like Steven, what the fuck are these people talking about? And then eventually Sam Hyde switches to like regular mode, and he's coming in the house. He starts handing out copies of the book. They found the book on Amazon because that's how people found him. They searched his name, and he came up on the Amazon ebook marketplace.
What?
So Sam Hyde buys the books and starts handing them out to the other contestants, and then kicks this dude out,
Oh no.
like aggressively kicks this dude out. They're brother, they're doing this thing with these things called fish bucks, where they can earn fish bucks, which are like cash besides
Like
the
reward
prize,
points.
and that's all fake. Like it's all fake. So like this dude's in the basement, and they're like, you need to, and they have like Squid Game looking like NPC dudes like messing up the house and like enforcing the
Mm.
rules. And they're telling this dude like you have to go to the airport now. Like you must leave. We are not responsible for you anymore. And the guy's like, I
Mm.
have 6 fish bucks. Like, can I redeem those? I really need the money. And they're like, yeah, dude, definitely. Like, call that Uber and we'll get that wired over to you in the next few days. This is all episode 1. There's like 12 episodes of this.
What?
But it's a legit reality show that you will get invested in.
When did it come out, by the way?
This was going on the stream probably in the spring.
Oh, so like very recent.
Yeah. And then he just released
Oh,
like their cut of it as a show within the last, I don't know, 2 months or so.
oh, okay.
But
But like it's all been out as like a stream, and then they just
yes.
cut it.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
And like there was like really crazy shit going on during the stream that they've like streamlined into the episodes. But yeah, I'll
Mhm.
tell you what, if you just want to see like Big Brother, but with the weirdest people of all time, and then you start to root for different ones. It's they do a challenge where they rip up all the carpet and move all the furniture out of the living room and kitchen. And they came in and they put all like astroturf down, and they told them that they were camping for the next week and they couldn't use running water. They set up a porta potty with like there's a sliding back door, and when they open the sliding back door, it's a porta potty. And they're like, for the next week, you're camping. You have to sleep in a tent in the living room, and there's no running water, and you have to shit in this porta potty. Or you can just leave. Like you can just give up and leave.
Oh, like at like any
At
time,
any
just
time,
leave.
people can just tap out.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say yeah, because like it sounds like
It's
he
not
just
like
rounded up some
prison.
mentally ill people and locked them in a house.
Well, and they're all
But
like half of them are seemingly normal when they get there.
yeah,
But then,
mm,
if you're under constant surveillance and stuck in a house for 2 months, like
it's gonna fuck you up.
the true colors of these people start really showing themselves.
You start like telling all your thoughts to like a camera. Who's like not even just like a confessional.
Yeah, all the time.
You start to go mad.
He starts bringing in these people called freeloaders, which are people living in the house that aren't contestants, but they can just choose to live there, and they're just ruining things. At one point, he brings in a homeless guy for like a day and a half, and is like, "You guys have been really boring for the last few days. I found this homeless guy. He's gonna live here too."
What the fuck?
It's dude. I You should watch it. Watch the first episode. You will get engrossed in this show.
I've never been in any like Sam Hyde anything. I've always just heard his name and kind of just like I know like some stuff about him, like how like the rumor about he was like the ghost of Kiev.
Yes. Well, every
Um,
every time there's a school shooting, it's like part of his like mystique.
his fans.
Yeah, that they all go like,
Oh.
here's a picture of the shooter, and it's always Sam Hyde. Like at one point, he was
I
on
know
the
about like
news. They
that.
said he was 4chan. He was the hacker known as 4chan.
He was, and like people, kind of all the time, like they say that he's like a neo-Nazi when he's just Sam Hyde.
So he had a show on Adult Swim called $1,000,000 Extreme that ran for
Mhm.
one season, and it's very much like the Adult Swim live action like weird comedy.
Mhm.
But he started getting like very he pushed a lot of boundaries, and then Tim Heidecker actually was who I guess like runs Adult Swim. I didn't realize that Tim and Eric were like
Mhm.
very high up in Adult Swim, but he
Mhm.
blacklisted him. Like all which like I thought Tim and Eric were pretty cool. It turns out they're like the kings of like early 2000s alt comedy to this day. It's like those dudes, Sarah Silverman,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
what's that dude? Not Stanhope, the Doug Benson. Remember that guy?
Doug Benson, yeah, the fucking super high me guy.
Yeah. His entire joke was
Yeah,
his entire like comedic persona was
it's like
I'm always high.
I'm so high,
I'm the
dude.
I'm so high all the time. It's crazy.
I think someone was on his show and like outed themselves,
Hmm.
like to being like a pedophile or like raping someone, like something
Holy
very
shit.
bad.
I know his show had some
Yeah, dude. Some
crazy moments because people would get way too stoned. Somebody tapped out on that
yeah,
show.
bro.
I'm trying to think, like a very famous comedian went on his show and got blasted. It might have been
Oh, I
Bill.
gotta
Might have
look
been
up
Bill
the.
Burr. I think Bill Burr
Oh,
did an
really? He
episode of
just
his
he's like
podcast.
couldn't handle it.
Yeah, well, he's like, I kind of thought this was like a normal thing, and like you were gonna smoke, and Doug's like, no, Bill, like, come on, like, he either like hit a blunt or like hit a bong or something, and within 5 minutes he was like, please turn the cameras off. I feel insane right now.
Wait.
Oh yeah, but Sam
Oh, I
Hyde.
found. Oh,
Oh,
sorry,
sorry,
sorry. I
sorry. No, no,
found.
no.
I found it. It was Brad Williams. It was a comedian named Brad Williams,
Brad
I think.
Williams. I can't picture him.
Oh, he's a tiny dude.
He's a he's a midge.
Yes.
Is he
What was he
is
in
he the
though?
dude that wears like bowler caps?
Yes, he does.
I Yes.
That's him.
Okay. Damn, he
Hmm.
outed
Yeah,
himself.
there's a clip of him, yeah, being like, I don't want to say anything, like, because like, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something like, yeah, like some like, he got outed for like something like Me Too related,
Damn.
that like, yeah,
Mid
didn't look good for him, and
midget
like the people
rapist.
people on the show were like, dude, like you can't,
A tiny
you can't do
rapist is
that.
like that's nefarious.
It's a tiny rapist.
That's like a Greek myth of this like small man in the woods. Was that Pan? He's Pan.
He's paying. Oh, who's Captain Hook? Doug Benson is Captain Hook in that situation.
Man, maybe I'm a bit of a shmee
Oh, he.
myself.
So, oh, okay. This headline from the Evening Standard was comedian Brad Williams apologizes after quote making up end quote rape story to be entertaining, also in quotes. So, oh yeah, you just made up a story when you were high on a podcast. Yeah, that sounds like something like a lot of people do, dude. Yeah.
Honestly, it could have been a joke gone fully awry if he was if he
It
was
could have
if
been.
he was
It could
stoned
have
out of
been.
his gourd, and he might have been panicking the whole time like this is not the way I wanted this to go.
That's the worst thing too. When you're like a little high and you say something, people are just like, "What, dude? What are you talking about?"
You're like,
It's like, fuck,
nothing,
fuck. Am I crazy?
nothing.
No,
Forget about it.
that's how you don't talk for an hour. People are like, "Yo, dude, are you all right?" Yeah, dude, because
Hey,
you
no,
shut me the fuck up.
no, dude. I've been wondering if everyone in this room hates me for the last 45 minutes.
Sorry, dude. I just thought about how I cut someone off in the third grade. Keep still thinking about it. Dude, like I think about those things like all the time. Like sometimes I'll get a little high, a little too high, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, why did I used to tell on myself in kindergarten? I would do something to someone and then I'd be like, wait, if I say to the teacher I did it first, they'll be less angry at me. You
Oh
know?
man, yeah. Oh,
It's like just
it's
old
so
cringy memories that are fucking branded in your memory.
things always get me at night when I'm
Oh yeah.
I so like I like to listen to things at night. So whether it's like and not just like a fan. I need to have like
Like
some sort of
out
like a documentary, like something going on in the background just for
like while you sleep or just in general while you're
just
chilling.
a well that too, also just chilling. But like
Mm.
at night, like I find it very easy to fall asleep if there's just like the white noise of like talking like behind me. I don't know what like I can fall asleep watching TV in a second. But if I'm just laying there in
Mm.
silence, like with just my thoughts, I will lay there and start going down the rabbit holes.
Mhm. Oh yeah, stuff's kicking around, stuff's
Yeah.
rattling around up
So
there.
you start hitting the memories, and you're like, God damn it, that was the.
Like, oh,
And you're like,
that
maybe
was so
maybe they
awful.
forgot, but they didn't forget. People don't forget.
Nope, people don't forget. Nope. I uh I don't know. I recently I have like a goldfish memory though. But like
I'll remember the next day and be like, God damn it.
yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, what the fuck was that, dude? What was? It's like in like I don't know, it's like dumb stuff. Like like I'm at work, I open the door, I almost hit someone. Like not even almost hit someone. Like the dude reacted in the way. He's like, "Oh, ooh, almost lost my nose," and he didn't look at me. He just looked at the dude he was with. He's like, "Almost lost my nose," and I'm like, "Did I open the door too hard?
Yeah,
I don't think I
what did
did.
I do
I
there?
what did I do?"
Then you get mad at them. You're like, I hate that guy.
Yeah, I'm like, that dude sucks. I'm like, no, do I suck? Is
Yeah,
it
am I the
me?
worst?
Am I the worst?
Dude, I've had this thing lately where I'll like meet somebody and I'll like, you like shake their hand, say your name, and then like I'll like
Mm.
walk away and I'll be like, did I look them in the eye once? Like, did I make any sort of like eye contact with that person, or was I like looking in every direction like a freak,
Mm.
just like.
What want to know a revelation I had like a few years ago?
Hmm.
I like something hit me, or like I don't know if something hit me, or like just looking back, I'm like, did I like before the age of like 22, did I ever look anyone in the eye?
Dude,
I
I
don't
have this
know.
thought all the time.
Yeah. It's
Hard eye
wild.
contact is
You don't remember?
so
You don't
hard.
remember? Oh, dude, I'm so bad at it now,
Like, I
dude. Mm.
it's it's brutal, especially when you like make the conscious decision. You're like, I'm gonna start looking people in the eye when I talk to them, and then you get like
Yeah,
3 words in, and you're like, I gotta break eye
and then you're
contact. And then I'm like,
like, oh, I'm looking away.
are they looking at me the whole time? Like, are other people making eye contact when they talk? Because that's insane.
I don't get like I can't just stick because like like some people say to like look in like the middle like the bridge of your nose basically like
Miss me with that.
where your nose meets your eyebrows.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna stare. No, that's weird.
I'm not
That's
gonna
weird.
stare a hole through
Um,
somebody's forehead while I'm talking to them.
yeah, no, dude. Uh, I had a teacher in high school that said they always like they have a habit of looking at people in the mouth when they talk. Like they look at people's
Hmm.
mouths. It's like I've never heard that one before. That's a interesting one.
I
Um.
I feel like the correct way should be, especially like one on one or in a group. Like with groups, a little bit
Mhm.
easier. Groups like totally cool. If I'm talking to somebody
Mhm.
one on one, I'm looking kind of away when I'm talking, and I'm looking right at them when they're speaking. But when I'm speaking,
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
gonna look away, and that feels
Yeah.
comfortable. That feels like a normal
Mhm.
conversation. Like
No, dude.
the only time I'm gonna look right at you when I'm talking to you is if I'm literally trying to make a point, and I'm like,
Mhm.
right, are we on the same page?
Like, yeah, right.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm
Do you get in
like,
that point?
yeah. I'm like, are
You're like,
we?
oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Turning back, turning back.
Immediately try, like, dude, I get into these conversations with dudes where like I feel like it's just me and him talking, and I'll like rotate my body almost to go like at like a 45-degree angle with like our shoulders. And then
Mm.
you start feeling them start like coming back around to your front. And now like the two of us are doing this like weird dance where I don't want to be squared up on them. I just kind of want us to stay at this angle.
So just rotating.
It's real nice when like you find like a car or something, or like on a couch is perfect. You just sit at the different angles. But if you're
Oh.
standing there, I'm gonna find a wall to post up on. I'm gonna find something, and hopefully they don't decide to now stand right, like perpendicular to me.
Mhm.
Like, please, brother, just post up with me.
Yeah.
Let's look
Post
at
up
the
with me. I'm like,
yeah. Let's
oh,
let's look
oh,
at the
like
ground
in
and then
oh,
glance.
That's a
Mm-hmm.
that's a way to go. The worst is when you're sitting there and like they kind of turn, they kind of crane their neck at like a 45
Oh yeah.
degree angle, and they kind of look at you and like they turn towards you a little bit, and they're just like, "Hey, we don't need to do all that."
It's why having a nice smoke is very nice when you're just standing there with a Marlboro Red
Mm.
and you can like use the cigarette as like a like eye glancing tool. Use it as a gesturing thing.
Right? Oh, oh yeah. Uh-huh.
It's definitely why like in movies people look cool when they're smoking because you can just you're kind of in
Get
like a
lost in your smoking.
yeah.
It's also a good move if there's like a dog. People just look at the or like an animal.
Oh
People
yeah.
just like to stare at the animal. You
Something
know,
going on.
animals like the sponge. Yeah.
Yeah. A game
Uh.
on TV like football or something
Oh
on
yeah.
TV that you can both like be glancing at or nothing worse than when you're watching like live sports like that and you're like it's nice because you're
Oh yeah.
talking during the game and then it goes to commercial and you're like fuck now I have to look at them or
Dude, sometimes I'll be out at like like I was at like a work event. No, 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 not what the fuck am I talking about? A work event. It was like a work lunch. Like my manager's manager was like, "Hey, like let's meet everyone." Went out to dinner or lunch. Um, and like there's a TV behind like all of them, and I'm just looking at the TV just because like it's there. Because like like there's a lot of people. I don't know, like especially in a group like that, it's weird for me like who I look at all the time.
oh yeah
Um, yeah, and then like so I'm just looking at this TV, right? And then it's like Sports Center, but then there's like commercials, and then I'm thinking like, do they just think I'm staring at this TV watching commercials
dude
on like a
I so
Tuesday at
feel that
11:30
well it's like
during our work lunch?
I try very hard to like never pull out my phone and start looking at my phone even if I'm not like in the
Hmm.
middle of a conversation if I'm just like you know unless you're like sitting up at a bar. But if you're like chilling and like there's a TV on or like there's conversations going on, I never like pull my phone out, which will then leave me staring at a commercial. And like other people are like looking at their phones and I'm just sitting there like an old man like no, I'm not gonna pull my phone out. I'm gonna stare at this Burger King commercial for the 10th
Hands
time.
behind your back,
Yeah. Hands behind the back,
hands crossed behind your back.
just
Oh,
full uncle pose.
yeah, full uncle or dad pose. Yeah.
Just hanging out. Both hands in the pockets, then you feel dumb, so you take them both out and cross them.
Full dad pose is to stand like 3 feet in front of the TV on like a like you're walking around. It's a Saturday. It's
Yes.
like like you're not you're not in one spot chilling. So like you'll walk 2 feet up the TV, just
Mm-hmm.
stare at it for like 10 minutes.
The inverse of that
I'm like,
is
Dad, what do you do?
standing behind the couch.
Oh yes.
You ever just post up standing behind the couch and you're like, this is fine. This is actually where I want to be.
Or like you sit on the leg of the couch or the
Oh,
arm
yeah.
of the couch.
Yeah, dude. I'll sit on the arm of a
And
couch
slowly slink
for,
down.
yeah, for 5 seconds and then feel retarded. Like, why am I sitting on the arm of the couch right now?
That was another thing, dude. I was at a birthday party like a few months ago, and like there's like half the couch is open, but like the people I'm there talking to are on like one side of the couch. So like I'm sitting on the arm of the couch, and then I notice like the person next to me looks and looks at me and then looks at the empty spot on the couch, and they're just like, oh,
Oh, no.
oh, what? I'm like, oh shit, should I have sat there?
Yeah. Nothing
Is that
worse than
I don't know,
noticing
dude.
somebody notice like your positioning. And you're like, damn it.
Oh,
I wasn't thinking that hard
like
about it.
damn.
Now it's the only thing I'm
Or
thinking
maybe
about.
now I'm trapped.
I'm stuck here.
Now it's like if I do it, then it's like maybe a weird thing. It's
Yeah.
like I'm already doing a weird thing. Maybe if I change.
You almost have to address it at that point. You gotta just be like,
Yeah, like
just openly be
gotta
like,
make a
why am I
joke.
on the couch? Yeah, you gotta be. That's when a joke goes awry when
I'm
you're
on the couch.
when you're like, ah, weird that I've been like standing here, and then you like go to slink into the couch and you do it kind of awkwardly, and now it's quiet, and you're like, I should have just sat in the couch. I shouldn't have made a whole thing about it.
I should have said, fuck. Shit.
Nobody else cared. Even that person, it turns out, didn't care. They just happened to notice.
They just gave me a pity laugh. I saw it. I heard it.
Yeah,
I know what their real laugh sounds like. That wasn't that.
that wasn't a real laugh.
Yeah, dude.
Brother.
Did you watch the what?
Oh, go ahead. I had a whole different
Did you watch
deal.
the Oh no, same.
Hit me.
Did you watch the Moldog stand-up special?
I listened to like half of it on a drive, and I haven't revisited.
Oh, okay.
Did you finish it?
I'm gonna guess you didn't really love it. Well, no, well, like,
I'm torn on
his
it.
well, his stand-up's not like
It's so different.
like
from
it's weird to
his
say his
normal
stand-up's
humor.
not as good. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's such a different.
Well, because
beast.
it's like such a different audience too.
Yeah. I didn't dislike it. Like it made me like, it made me chuckle, made me like laugh a couple times. I just I'm having trouble like separating that from like when I listen to Come Town clips, and I'm like to this day still just like cackling in my car to Come Town.
I think it's the same problem with like Shane's last stand-up special. It's like people that really
Yes.
love the podcast,
Yes.
like thought that it was gonna be like something way different. Like like they had an idea in their head, right?
I was just talking about this
But it's
today.
like, yeah, dude, like it's hard to meet those expectations, especially too.
What's good for him, I guess.
But yeah, like you gotta.
Is like I have now heard a lot of people, like random people, saying that like they started listening to the podcast now, or like they just really like him now. And I'm like, all right, well then it did exactly what it was supposed to do. Like maybe that is like what specials are now, because like every comedian has a full like podcast network or show, or so if you can just release a stand-up special that your fans will watch and probably enjoy, but it's all about bringing in the new people that just watch you for that hour and go, I like this guy, I like his humor, let's see what else he's got.
And just to book dates too.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
let's go see somebody live.
He's sitting at 810,000
a month,
which like he got like or no sorry views
shit.
in 4 days for his special.
Oh, the Moldog. Hell yeah, dude. I hope it. I like the Adam Friedland show.
It got
now.
like 400,000. Oh yeah, dude, it grew on me. I think it grew on a lot of people too.
It's such a different beast.
Because and it's so different. And like they want to do something totally different too.
Which I still don't get. I feel like they definitely could have like pivoted and just brought in probably like another third host and just continue doing their thing. But I do kind of commend that they're like, no, we have a whole different direction we're going to go with things.
I know that's old. That's old news now.
I've also seen shit online where like I'll stumble across like a clip of like Stavros on something. All right, so to fill some people in, there used to be a podcast called Come Town, and it had this dude Nick Mullen, this guy Stav, and a third guy Adam. It was a really, really funny podcast. And then the guy Stav left. So now Nick and Adam are doing a whole different thing. They're not doing like a funny bit podcast anymore. They're doing like a talk show. And it's just not funny in the same way that Come Town was. But now I keep seeing things online where people will like, it'll be a clip of Stav, who was in retrospect the least funny person on Come Town. His whole job was just to laugh at Nick's jokes, and he has a great laugh, so like it was great. But now he'll say like one funny thing on like Theo Von's podcast, which is like the clip I saw, and then I'm looking at the comments because I love looking at the comments, and everyone's like, Stav better than Nick. Stav is Nick Mullen's dad. Like Stav made Nick Mullen's career, and it's such the opposite. Stav was nobody. His stand up is like it's like a Bert Kreischer level of like Just like, I'm fat and I like pussy. It's like, all right, brother,
Mm-hmm.
sick.
Kind of their thing.
Yeah.
And so I heard that read on Reddit or some shit that Stop is like a team of people that post all his clips, all his like crowd work stuff, and yeah, dude, like that's how he's getting all these views
So many
and getting
crowd
all these
work clips.
shows.
I hate crowd work clips.
They're 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 rough.
It's always like comedians that I'm either not familiar with or I don't find that funny, and it's just like just an interaction. Just they're just like that's what it is. They're just crowd working, and it's a quick 30, 40-second thing, and it's got 12 million views, and I'm like, this is not. I don't know.
Matt Rife calls out woman in
Oh my
crowd.
god. So what's happening with Matt Rife? He's canceled.
I think he's fine.
So I have no idea.
I haven't heard a thing.
I don't know anything about Matt Rife besides the fact that Stubb calls him the hot comedian.
Well, like that's his thing.
Did you see that there's a doctor saying that he got chin implants?
Saying that Matt Rife did?
Yeah. So there's like pictures of him
I could see
in
it.
high school with like a fully different like jawline and like facial structure. And apparently he got like jaw implants and like got his like skull shaved up.
I mean, not to put smut on the boy's name, but he seems like someone that would buy one of those like
Oh, the jaw trainers?
mandible like workout. Yeah, the jaw
Yes.
trainer things, like the ball things.
The Indian Joker thing.
I'm not saying, yeah, he looks like a dude that would do that,
Yeah.
but that's just me.
I honestly haven't given any of his stand up a chance because I just don't like him based on him just being pretty boy comedian.
Yeah, but like like that's his thing that he's going for too. Like he's like I don't know obviously, but like looking at him, he's trying to be the pretty boy comedian.
Yeah.
There's no pretty boy comedian, you know?
Like Pete Davidson tries to be pretty boy comedian, but at least I can look at him and be like, I think that guy's ugly. So I don't care that other people find him attractive. Whereas I look at Matt Rife and I'm like, damn, dude, that's a hunk.
Fuck that guy.
That's a hunk. I don't want to laugh at his jokes.
Oh damn. Oh shit. Is he holding the microphone behind his neck?
He's got. I was trying to think of the Anthony Jeselnik was kind of like that, but at least I found Jeselnik very funny.
Yeah.
And then it
I
turns
liked
out
him until
he's a
he said
dweeb.
that thing.
Yeah, he's a weirdo. And he
I'm
wrote
talking
all
about the same thing.
Yeah, and he wrote all of Sarah Silverman's jokes, or not Sarah Silverman, the other lady. Oh, Amy.
Natasha
No, Amy Schumer.
Was it Amy or was it?
He's married to Amy Schumer.
Was it really Amy Schumer?
Yeah.
No. What? No, he's not.
He's married to Amy Schumer.
Jeselnik?
He's either married or they were dating the whole time that she was releasing all those specials.
I mean, that would kind of trip.
And like when they broke up, it like all her stand-up stuff fell off the map. Which, if that's true, the only redeeming thing about Jeselnik at this point would be if he was ironically writing awful humor for Amy Schumer. Just to
and
tank,
like just like
tank
that.
her. Yeah. He was literally doing the Cartman joke. I'm just, my vagina.
The what?
The Cartman joke. He's like, yep, they'll eat this shit up.
What if like just like his like years from now he says like, oh, actually like my comedy career after like dating Amy Schumer is just like what Amy's career would have been.
Just mid.
Because he fell off of it. Yeah. She had that show for a while though. No, yeah, he has his podcast.
The compilations of her show stealing jokes.
Not her show stealing jokes, but I saw the compilation of her like her specials and stuff stealing jokes.
So her show, she was pulling from like early 2000s like Comedy Central presents. And it's all like really small time, like people who just got a half hour on Comedy Central. And like, you know,
Mm.
they probably are still touring people cuz like I could like recognize some of them a little bit. But yeah, she was taking like straight up jokes from the early 2000s and turning them into sketches in like the 2010s.
Oh, that's rough. Just
Yeah.
scanning like a Comedy Central presents.
Yeah. Just dude, I used to listen to Pandora when I'd mow the grass in like high school, and I would just
Mm.
throw on like the comedy channel of Pandora.
Mm.
And I'll tell you what, it was I feel like I could go back to that well and like create sketches based on that and make it at least change it enough that you couldn't directly tie it to
Oh
a
yeah.
joke.
Yeah, but like I feel like especially too, like especially now, like people can go back like and be like, this is kind of like this,
Close enough
you
type
know?
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was worried during the Mole Dog special when he went into the whole story about going to the slave house. I was like, this is very poor
Oh
timing
yeah.
with literally Shane kind of doing a very similar story during his special.
Bro, I saw them both, yeah, in Hershey
Mm-hmm.
and so Shane did that joke, but Nick didn't do that joke.
All right, makes
Um,
sense.
but there's a big Nick joke at the end that like he ended on, which was probably like my favorite. So you
Okay.
should definitely go back to it.
All right, I will
But
go back to it.
yeah, it's good. You know,
Nick and Lewis were just on
it's
Tim
chop.
Dillon's podcast.
Yeah, dude. I started playing that because I thought it was an old one,
Yeah,
and then like I looked at, it, I was like, oh shit, released 3 hours ago. What the fuck?
I love the Tim Dillon show. I
Um,
like that this has just turned into the comedian review section.
yeah, yeah.
the the comedy podcast and stand up review section.
Could you see our inspiration? Um,
These are my role models.
these are my. I go to sleep. I stare at Tim Dillon on my ceiling.
Well, it's like kind
Uh,
of going off this. Like at work, I'm just trying to listen to podcasts because I feel like
mm,
none of these dudes are trying to listen to my music.
mm.
Like I took the speaker yesterday, and I
Well,
have no
especially
idea.
like you want to hear be like, what are you listening to? You know, like that
Yeah,
shit's the worst.
well, because people at work are listening to bluegrass, like old country, or like Shinedown, or like early 2000s rock. And then I come in there and it's like I can't throw on like 100 Gex. Like maybe I can throw on a little bit
Mm,
of Kanye. But so yesterday I just was kind of in like a fuck it mood. So I just was listening to I still put on like some sort of crowd pleaser. But like at one point I just listened to the Beatles for
mm,
like 2 hours. I just put on like the Beatles greatest hits. But then once I saw that like, you know, I'm, I've been on the speaker for quite a while. I'm just going to start rolling into it. I went into
mm.
like Shaggy and like Bob Marley,
Hell
and
yeah,
I could
hell yeah.
see the change. I was having such a great. I was so chilled out, but I could slowly start feeling with every new song the pressure of like, what the fuck are we
Oh,
listening to? Which is why
the pressure
typically,
on the aux is
yeah,
awful.
and you have to choose. You're
You
like,
start getting looks.
yeah, you're like, am I going to switch to Zach Brown band, or am I just going to push down this hill of like, guess what, guys? I'm not going to play anything loud or like offensive. Like, I'm not going to bother you. These are all songs that you kind of know. Just enjoy the music. Like, it's okay to have a little bit different, but it's not even like my people. It's the random
Mhm.
people that are
Ooh,
just
yes, 100%.
serving up looks. Just some like 55-year-old painter just walking by serving a weird look. And like, why are you listening to Bob Marley at work? That's secret music.
Especially when you hear someone say it too. Oh, hey, who's playing that music?
Yeah. Well, at one point,
Fuck.
at
Fuck.
one point, at one point in the shuffle, a Millie came on, which I thought
Oh, hell yeah.
warranted 2 clicks up on the volume. And after about half the song,
Absolutely.
I realized I need to go at least 1 click back down.
Yep. Yep.
But it,
Felt the tone in this room be like,
yeah, I
I
could
don't like what
feel it.
he's saying.
But I never listen to podcasts on the speaker unless it's like Pardon My Take or
Yeah.
like Pat McAfee, something like that. Like just it's
Mm.
just gonna be straight sports talk. But I am
No, yeah, because
amazed.
bro, like, you don't want to hear people talk about like cum
Yeah, exactly. I'm
like
not
through your speakers.
people walk in the room. It's like, and they can go very. It could like I could have like a serious business person or like a teacher walk into the room while I'm listening to this, and then suddenly it's like, oh man, I didn't want them to hear like Cumtown doing Asian voices for 10 minutes, and my
Yeah.
phone's on the other side of the room, so I have to like pretend like I'm going to get something, be like ha ha ha, like go over and be like quickly find a song. I'm like fuck it, Runaway. We're gonna listen to Runaway, and then
It's runaway time.
I'm like they don't like that either. But there are dudes on these sites, or not these sites. There are dudes on sites, job sites that
Mm-hmm.
are flying their political podcast flag,
Oh,
and some of it is nuts stuff. There was a
would you be
dude.
hearing like non-mainstream shit? You be hearing some wild shit.
I don't know if it's mainstream or not. Like if I hear a little bit of like Ben Shapiro or Crowder or something like that, I'm like, all right, this dude's just run of the mill dude who just is into politics with that type of stuff. But like a couple weeks ago, I heard this dude listening to what turned out to be Turning Point USA's podcast, and it's that dude, like I think like Kirk, either Christian or Charlie Kirk, I think is the guy's
Adam?
name.
No, it's not Adam.
Well, these dudes are like straight up like beyond me conservative. Like
it sounds familiar. Yeah.
stuff I can't. It's not even stuff I can't get behind. It's literally like what people make fun of Fox News for being. So like they were talking about sending refugees to different states, and as I walk in, the guy's like he was interviewing somebody, and they're like, just last week, Minnesota accepted Somalian refugees, and I'm like, bebopping around the room. So now like my interest is piqued. I'm like, what's going on with these Somalian refugees? And the other guy's like, oh, it's awful. It's going to change these communities. And the other guy comes back and he's like, yes, last week they accepted 75 Somali refugees. And the dude on the ladder is like nodding his head like, God damn it, 75.
Goddamn Somali refugees.
I started laughing. I was like, what the fuck? 75? Do people not have a concept of how many people are like in the world or in a single town? And then the guy responds and goes, yeah, and in a couple generations, that 75 is going to be, a lot of Somalis. And I'm like, brother, now we're just being openly weird about this.
Yeah, now we're like, it's like planting a seed.
I'm
Gotta
literally,
rip out the tree.
literally,
Gotta rip out the roots.
You got to kill it at the root. I was like, what the fuck are these people worried about? That in 200 years, God forbid, there's going to be 500 Somalis living in Minneapolis? I was like, what the fuck are these people? But these guys are listening to it so seriously, and it was nuts. I was glad I was done with what I needed to do in the room. I had to get out. I was like, brother, I'm not trying to crash on your political leanings or anything like that, but at some level, you got to be listening to that and be like, what the fuck are these people talking about?
And like, it's like, and like, to some extent, you gotta think like, how much do they believe it, or is it just like they're saying this, telling you it's bad, and you're like, oh yeah, it's bad, yeah,
That's
it's
what
bad,
I
yeah.
mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like my man, and I feel like there has to be a whisper down the lane effect, where at some point,
Absolutely.
a month later, that guy's like, "Did you know that Minnesota just accepted 7,000 Somalian refugees?"
7,000. Oh, really? Yeah, do something like that.
Because the way that they're making it sound, if I missed the number and I heard the rest of the conversation around it, I probably could have got pulled into being like, fuck, dude, they took so many refugees. But instead, they made the mistake of saying 75.
Dude, like in especially like where we're from, like have we ever even encountered a refugee? You know?
I don't know.
Like
I don't
it's
know.
like probably, but like I don't know. Yeah.
But not
It's
in,
like
you know
and like
what?
people get so,
Not in
so
our
worked up.
town. I have not in our town
No, that's what I mean.
encountered a
Yeah,
refugee.
no.
Absolutely not. Oh, speaking of, here's some juiciness we can get into. Have you
Oh
heard
yeah.
about the Raider?
Are they changing it for good?
Brother, this has been the talk of the town. The
Oh
townies
shit.
are
I haven't been
enticed.
home in a little bit.
We should have started with this. This is the meat. So a
Talk the
couple
OVI.
weeks ago, brother, this has taken over every person that I'm like coming across that is from our area. That's like over the age of like 35. So there was a club that was created at Twin Valley, and it was called like Repeal the Raider. And
Mm-hmm.
I might bleep out Twin Valley. I don't know. But
We'll
at
see.
yeah, I who gives a fuck? No one's listening to this.
Yeah,
But
right. Yeah.
everyone listening to this knows where we went to high school or doesn't care.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Most people listening is probably know us.
our friends who might listen to this know exactly what's happening. So there was apparently a club made called like Repeal the Raider. And I don't know how many kids
There's
it
an
was.
Instagram
I don't
account.
know. Well, they were going around the school hanging up like posters, and like I don't know if they were having like walkouts, what they were doing. I'm assuming this was like 4 kids. But
Propagandizing the halls.
their club was removed. Like they lost club status, and I guess they weren't allowed to like hang up their posters and stuff anymore. This has led to a lawsuit from like the indigenous peoples, like or like the NAACP of Native Americans is now suing the school for like discrimination and for not allowing these kids to like have the right to do this. It's become a huge thing. I
What
think
the
some
hell?
now these kids are getting like threats. There's like crazy videos being posted of like people being like, these goddamn faggots want to take away the Raider. How dare. I'm serious. It's getting like crazy, like what people are
I'll
posting.
always be a raider.
And me
I'm a raider
personally,
for life.
yeah, me personally, I don't give a fuck
I
what
don't give
the
a fuck.
school mascot is.
Mm-mm.
On the other hand, it is gay that they that's the word I've been using to describe both sides constantly, and it upsets everybody. But like somebody will come to me and be like, well, they should change it. And I'm like, yeah, that's fucking gay. I don't care that they should just make the logo like a pirate or a Viking and leave it as a Raider. But then
They can make it literally like a box of green.
it could be
Of
anything.
green.
Yeah. But then I have people on the other side that are like, so I was read a Facebook post yesterday that somebody had found on Facebook, and they're like, yo, like get a load of this. And it was like, I guess they had psychologists come into the high school and like talk about the implications of changing this. And the one guy was like in support of keeping it, and he's like, this is part of the identity of the community, like people that have graduated, the current students, like this is part of their DNA, which now all these other dumb people have latched onto, and they're like, it has always been the Raider, like how dare you change like what is this town's identity, which is also that is also retarded. If you
Move on.
move on.
It's
Who
fucking high
gives
school.
a shit?
And most of the people that are angry about this are probably like 40, 50. You know, like they're probably old.
Upset. It's people that go to the football games every Friday. It's gotta be.
Yep.
Like,
And don't have a kid that plays for the team.
They don't have a kid, no. But they're following every prospect. And like I can kind of understand.
Squad looks pretty good this year.
Yeah, like, and I can understand, like, if you're a current student and you're afraid that they're going to turn it into something equally, like less offensive but very dumb. One thing I heard was that they might do the Turtles, which might be
That was
like
a rumor when we were in school.
Yeah, I remember it was turtles, and then at one point it was like raptors, but it was like T Rexes. I don't know. It was something that was also not great, and also has nothing to do. Like at least turtles has
Yeah,
something to do with the area because there's those turtles
yeah.
that they killed to build the casino. So like, what a great
What?
like. Did you
They
hear?
they kill a bunch of turtles to build a casino?
There were rare box turtles in that area, and it's
What the
why they
fuck?
couldn't build anything else. And then eventually they just said, "Fuck it, we're moving the turtles."
They're like, well, you can't build. There's turtles here, and they're like, how about now? You check?
It was why that lot
They're
sat
still
there for
there.
like a decade because they couldn't get those turtles out of there.
That's fucking.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's
That's a hard one. That's a hard one.
like, and I get it.
Do you
I
build a
wouldn't want to.
casino or do you let the turtles have their home?
Yeah, and they're like, this is going to be a big boost to the local economy. It's like, no, it's not. It's just going to make everyone that goes to the retirement communities bankrupt.
Oh shit! The
What'd you
dog was
find?
under the bed the whole time. What the fuck? No, the dog was under the bed. Just you started shaking,
Simba,
scared the shit out of me. Simba chilling,
Simba.
but
But yeah, I
yeah,
don't
dude,
know.
the fucking
It's a nuts debate to be going on. That people are like, dude, my mom started sending me stuff about this, and I had to just
oh yeah, your
respond to her
parent.
and be like, Mom, I'm I love you. Please do not send me anything else about this because this is all that's going to happen is be I'm not going to be rude to my mom, but I'm going to make fun of the
No,
issue incessantly and upset her. Like she's just going to be very upset to hear my opinion on it, which is both sides are retarded.
I went home for a little bit last year, and I think it was when like like a meeting happened.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude, because I we live streamed it. I put it on the TV.
Oh, the
I
casino
remember I
meeting.
put it. Oh no, 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 the mascot meeting.
Oh. Oh.
That a student
You
council
put it
meet,
on the
not student,
TV.
student board. Yeah, yeah, because there are all these
I
people
love
now.
that.
Like oh no, yeah, it's a board meeting. It was a normal board meeting, and they're like, all right, this substitute teacher is getting a raise. We hired this person. Uh, the softball team plays for counties next week. And then like a lady walks up. She's like, excuse me. When are we going to talk about the mascot? It's like it's why we're here. And then people like, I mean, like we put it on the agenda. Did you not see the agenda? Like they're just like also kind of annoyed by it. Finally gets to it. They have like two students speak, and then they get someone like from like a nearby tribe. Like, hey,
Oh,
we're
the
gonna have them
Lenapes.
talk. Yeah.
The Lenape
Oh yeah,
Indians.
yeah. Yep. Name that. Yep.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, dude. They brought in like yeah, like they were like yeah, this the normal like this doesn't represent us. This represents like a bad like a bad
Stereotype.
characterization of yeah, yeah, bad stereotype and all that shit. It's like I mean yeah, but you see the eye patch? Eye patch pretty cool.
The eye patch is nice. I might buy like a full Colonel Sanders suit and I pay taxes for the school district. I will attend a school board meeting with a poster board and reveal it with throwing my hat in the ring that it should be renamed to the Twin Valley Redskins with the original Washington Redskins logo, which is not copyrighted.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, walk in there with a big sign. How funny would that be? With a
I'm gonna go
like a
full
secret
Johnny
camera, hidden
Cochran.
camera.
I'm gonna have a full monologue soliloquy. Ladies and gentlemen of the Twin Valley School District, lend me your ears. And then when they don't like that one, I reveal the next page, which is just Chief Wahoo. Be like, well, we'll keep it as Raiders, but we'll change the logo.
We just go to the past band logos. Fucking Cleveland Indians up there.
Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah,
All of them.
exactly. I'm going to demand that they follow Robert's rules of the court. And be like, I will be given my time. We have not tabled the issue.
Sir, it is still my time.
It
It's
is
still my
my
time.
time. It is still my time.
Yeah, Yeah, dude, it's all like at the end of the day, who really cares what a fucking mascot for a school is?
Yeah, that's what I
I mean,
mean.
like while I was in school, I didn't want it to be the turtles because the t like that implies we're slow.
I like
First of
turtles.
all,
Yeah, I don't want to be a
I
turtle.
like turtles.
I like
No,
turtles.
like do really anything else than a turtle.
I
Like
don't get why they
you're
don't
good.
just change the logo. Leave it as the Twin Valley Raiders and make it a Viking or a pirate.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. Make
so
it a pirate.
simple. It's so simple.
Yeah. It-
Like,
I totally forgot that was my solution a while ago. Yeah, make it a pirate. Yeah,
or if you're
because Oakland
gonna
Raiders
make it,
get nothing.
yeah, or if you're going to make it like something to the area, like you're gonna say turtles, make it the Longhorns. All the people from other schools talk about is how we were like the Cal school. Let's be the Longhorns and
Mm-hmm.
get the Texas logo. Go horns up. That could be sweet.
And honestly, fully embrace like the fucking farmland. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, there's so many like other things about the area that you could go with.
It's because like it is really different. It is like like out there. Like there's no other schools near. Like you barely have friends that go to other schools and shit
Yeah,
because you're
we're
so
not that type of
fucking
area.
secluded. No, yeah,
Exactly.
secluded as hell. That's why I think people uh like people that go to that school like talk to each other for longer and like
Yeah.
hang out for longer. I don't know. I was talking to my lady about that, and she was like, "Don't you think that was just your experience?" I was like, "Well, it was. Yeah, it was." But also, I don't know. I see other people on Instagram and shit. I see all that like
Yeah. It
people
is
still chill,
interesting.
you
Like
know?
uh the lady I live with, her all the people she went to high school with, they still seem to be in contact, but they like I said, they kind of have an area like we did. Like it seems like where
Yeah.
that changes is like people that went to high school like in the city or in a town that had two or three schools in it.
Yeah.
Like
Two or
they
three schools. Yeah. It's like, oh, there's an east or a west.
yeah. Like my little brother
North,
talks to people
south,
from
all that
different
shit.
schools, but it's all from like travel teams and like
Mm,
that type of stuff. Other than that, yeah, like the people you grew up with, those are your peoples.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I
dude.
don't
But it
know.
is it is an echo chamber. You need to at least get a taste of the outside,
Oh my god. Yeah.
or yeah,
Like
it's rough.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah, dude. Like,
it's a negative. That is definitely a downside of like this type of area is like your kids are going to be stunted until they go to college.
oh, oh yeah, dude. Yeah. As soon as I went to school, I was like, oh shit, no, yeah, shit's a little fucked up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I
shit
was
is
like
not fucking like goddamn, like I
wait a
don't
minute.
like yeah,
That
like dude,
that joke isn't funny. And then eventually it comes back around. You're like, now it is funny again, but it's different.
it's funny again.
But
Yeah.
the intent is much different.
No, yeah, definitely that first shock of like when you're like, oh, that's not funny anymore, and then a few years later, you're like, nah, it's pretty funny.
Bro, I gotta tell my brother all the time. He'll say something, I'll be like, my man, that is funny. However, you're you're gonna have to adjust a lot of things about that
Well,
delivery
yeah.
and like and your audience because you only know a very like narrow
Mm-hmm.
viewpoint of people.
Yeah, dude. You start getting more eyes, more ears on your shit.
For
You're like,
sure.
ooh.
For sure. Well, it also only takes one time for you to be like, damn, I'm never gonna say that again.
Yeah, like, ooh, yeah, that's a rough one, dude. I noticed that so like a thing I would do in high school a lot is someone would say a joke, and then I would say it like I would kind of repeat it, but say it a different way,
Yes.
you know, where I always thought I was adding on to it, but then like no one ever laughed, and then
Yes.
like but like
Yes.
I just fucking recycle it, blend it up, and then people just kind of like, huh, just kind of like look away, and then yeah, dude, I noticed that like a few years later, I was like, oh, probably that that was another one of me sitting too high at night, and I'm like, That was, yeah, that's a rough one. Shouldn't done that.
Yeah, yeah.
Shouldn't done that.
That does suck when you crush the momentum of somebody else's joke. You're like, damn,
Ruin everyone else's good time.
I ruined it.
Yeah, it's not fun anymore. It
They
was
probably
fun,
all
but
freaking hate
not
me
anymore.
now. On top of
Dude,
that, there was nothing worse in school than when you'd say something funny and then somebody would say it again louder, and then they would get the laughs, and then you have to come in
oh,
on top of that and be like, no, actually, I said that to him quietly.
but like that was me. That was me though, right? Like you heard me. Do you know nothing is worse for like a young man's psyche until he gets around a group of bros that don't really like his shit, his jokes, the things
Oh,
he's at,
dude,
a lot in high school. You're like, you know what, I'm gonna try to chill with these people for a little bit. You sit down, you're like, oh yeah, what about this? And they're like, what,
dude,
what
I've been finding that
are
in the
you?
adult world, where like
Oh, absolutely.
you'll just like run into like a fellow grown person and you're like hitting them with your normal stuff and they're just not having it. And you're like, all right, brother, I
Mhm.
guess you and I are not going to be friends. That's just the end of it.
You're like, oh yeah, that's just, yeah, that's it,
That
dude.
was nice, buddy. I'm going to stop
y-
recording.
Okay, yeah, I was feeling that too. That was very nice. Yeah, oh, I think,